Hey everyone, I'm Kristen Darrow. What is the latest in AI for arts and culture? There is so much going on. I had sort of committed to doing one of these videos a week. And I got to tell you, the problem isn't getting the videos produced. The problem is picking what of all of the many topics that we could be talking about to really focus on. This week, what I'm going to drill in on is actually a little bit of a lagging news story. And that is in June of this year, Google announced a really big expansion of their nonprofit grant program. And it specifically includes AI tools that are enterprise grade, super awesome tools that are now available for free or at 75% discount for nonprofit organizations, nonprofit charitable organizations. I'm actually going to just take us through, and in order to illustrate what's included in this Google for Nonprofits expansion, I'm going to take us into one of the new AI tools or one of the AI tools that you have access to. This tool that I'm going to show you is called NotebookLM. And it's not a new tool per se, it's something that's been out for a little while. But what I think is really cool, they've definitely upgraded some things recently. It's pretty mind-blowing upgrades to NotebookLM. So if you've been using NotebookLM and you already are aware of what it is, if you're not, then stay tuned. We're about to dive into it here. So again, June of this year, expanded the Google Ad Grant program, which many of you are using right now. It's $10,000 a month of paid advertising for your organization. If you're not using it yet, you definitely need to be taking advantage of that as a nonprofit or arts and culture organization. Also, Google Workspace, so using Gmail, Docs, Sheets, all of their sort of work productivity tools, Google Meet. That's also been included in nonprofit for many years. But what has happened in June of this year is that they expanded what is possible with AI. And so I'm actually going to show you using NotebookLM, and I've used it sort of in a meta way to basically take us through what's included in this release for AI for nonprofits. So what you see in front of you here is NotebookLM. It's notebooklm.google.com. It's essentially a research tool that you can have access to now for free. If you haven't already been exploring it, I would definitely recommend it. It is sort of unique in that it is a way to upload very specific research topic documentation and just use an AI, basically like a chat, to query and understand the depth and breadth of this research information that you've given it. So over here on the left are your sources. So if you click add, you can literally add pretty much any kind of data or text data to it. So you've got PDFs, text files, you can do markdown format, you can do audio if you have an MP3. Maybe it's an audio of a recorded conversation that you had or a meeting. You can upload that as a source. You can go out to Google Drive. You can link any website, any YouTube video. It'll go and scrape all the content out of that. You can paste your own topics in or source information in. You can also augment that information. So in this case, what I did was I went out to Google and I said, give me a bunch of like support documents and press releases about this new Google for Nonprofits announcement in June. And so that's all of these sources over here on the left-hand side that I uploaded here. And you can deselect or select to add them into the sort of indexing. You can go out and click on discover. And if you want to like augment or enrich the things that you've already uploaded, you can do that up to 50 different sources. It's pretty amazing how much content you can put in here. Again, the really cool thing about this is that unlike when you're sort of chatting with ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, it's going off and it may fabricate part of the answer if it doesn't know, right? So it'll go out and search on the web. It'll go back to its initial foundational training. And that can be great, except the sycophancy problem that has been noted pretty widely. And I think we probably, if you've been using those ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini tools, you'll notice that it's very agreeable, which can be great if you're in a bad mood and need a little boost, but it's not great if you're really trying to hone in around very factual information. So that's what Notebook LM is essentially giving you, is a way to really snap the conversation with the LLM. And right down here, you can type a message and just interact with this particular source data. It doesn't fabricate anything. It doesn't go outside of the bounds of this source data. It's basically a little mini RAG application. If you know about AI coding, RAG is Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's an acronym, RAG. And it basically means that you can train an LLM or large language model to just reference the specific data that you're giving it or to enrich the data that's coming back. So if you're a museum and you've got a ton of archive data and you want to just create a chat bot that is very specifically trained around that set of data, you can do that using RAG. But this gives you a way to do it without doing any coding. Really, really cool for research in that case. That's the benefit of this. And again, you get this as part of the Google for Nonprofit package. You get the full enterprise version of it. One of the cool things that NotebookLM just released recently, maybe you've heard this sort of demo of like a customized podcast. Let me come into this and just see there's an audio podcast. If I just want NotebookLM to riff and create a podcast for me, and basically I can sit back and just sort of absorb the conversation about what this means, right? So it did that. It created an audio overview. This has been out for a while, but what is new for NotebookLM as of just recently is I can now, as a listener, interact with it and have a conversation with it. So let me just give you a little sample of this.
How can we harness truly powerful tools, for good? That's the big question we're diving into today. We're looking at how artificial intelligence, especially Google's latest innovations, is really starting to transform the nonprofit sector. We've pulled together quite a stack of sources for this deep dive. We've got articles and guides from Google itself, plus insights from independent sector, heartfelt IT, nonprofit news, NeoWin, and Matchable. So it's a pretty comprehensive look, really, at the benefits, the cool new features, and also the practical side of things, the ethical things too.
Right. And our mission here is really to pull out the most important bits of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts about.
Oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hello. Hello, hello. I just wanted to ask, of all the new features in AI are available for nonprofits, which one is most exciting or sort of feels seismic to you?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. And we love that you chimed in.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's one we actually had on our minds too.
If I had to pick just one, the audio overviews in Gemini apps or Notebook LM really jump out.
Ooh, why that one? What makes it feel seismic?
Well, think about it, turning long reports or even just your uploaded files into these digestible podcast style audio summaries.
Like a research assistant in your ear?
Exactly. And not just that, but being able to.
It's pretty cool, right? I mean, I can just interrupt a podcast. And by the way, those voices, those are AI generated and they sound pretty darn real. So anyway, that's pretty cool. That interactive feature is new. I'll get into some of the details around why it's important that you have an enterprise grade version of these tools in a second. But there's different formats here as well that Notebook LM will come back with for you. And I think they're really, really useful. So another example of this, it's a new feature, is a visual overview. So watch this. It's basically, instead of doing a podcast of basically a summary of this information, it's going to create on the fly an AI generated presentation, including slides and video overview. So let's check that out and see what that looks like.
All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a huge, huge opportunity for anyone working in a mission-driven organization. Google is rolling out a massive AI upgrade for its nonprofit users. And get this, it's completely free. We're going to break down what that really means, why it's such a game changer, and exactly how you can get your hands on. Well, that is precisely what Google's new announcement is all about. They're dropping a seriously powerful AI upgrade just for nonprofits. And here's
So, by the way, I'm going to share this notebook. I've already uploaded all this information. This is all publicly available information. There's nothing really sort of a sacred about what I put together here. But I figure if I've done the research, I might as well pass this on to you. So I will share this notebook, and you'll be able to click on the link and get this. If you want to just jump in and watch this entire overview, you can do that. Or if you want to jump in and interrupt the podcasters, you can do that too. Another thing for those visual learners among us, there's definitely down here, there's like a different sort of text summary format that you can have. This is just a briefing document. One of the things that I wanted to point out, actually, I'm going to go back to something they call a study guide. And again, it's a different form of the briefing document, but basically it just it sort of outlines, okay, this is for 2,000 users, $0 a month, includes, the full workspace thing, including a terabyte of cloud storage. But if you jump down here, this is the thing I want to point out. This is data grade data protections, right? Or enterprise grade data protections. So all of you I know many of you are experimenting with AI, which is great. I think that's the best thing that all of us can be doing is just using AI in our daily work. The downside when you're at work and you're doing this is that you have confidential information about, you've got personally identifiable information crossing your desk about different patrons and donors. You've got all kinds of information about your organization, financial reporting. You do not want to put that information into any AI tool unless you know and your organization has vetted it for data protection and data privacy. You can still use these tools, but you need to do it in a way that is vetted for data protection and privacy. One good rule of thumb is to never put anything confidential about your own self or at work into any kind of free AI tool. 100% of the time, I'm going to just guess that even if they say they aren't, they might be using your data to train their model and or have humans looking at data going back and forth just for education purposes from the application developer side. So anyway, it's just an important thing. Now, if you're paying for enterprise services, that's a pretty good indicator. And usually, if you pay, they will give you an ability to opt out of my data is getting used for training. You can opt out of that. I know ChatGPT at a paid level allows that. Claude is very much a privacy oriented service. Um, and then within Google Gemini, and with NotebookLM, if you're at the enterprise level, you're gonna get basically very good data protection baked into it. Compliance certifications are GDPR, SOC, and ISO standards. So this is really good. It's basically getting enterprise data protection levels for free for nonprofits. So I think that, I mean, when I heard that, I was like, man, that is great, and that's a huge, huge benefit. One other thing for the visual learners like me, one thing that I love is this mind map tool. So here, so in NotebookLM, I basically can just come in here and start to visually explore what it is. In fact, this interface right here is what really got my head wrapped around all the tools that you get. So let's just drill into key AI applications, and you can see basically what nonprofits get covers 4 different application services. You've got the Gemini, the large language model interface itself, and if you click in here, you can see what that means. There's different sort of features that are unlocked here for nonprofit organizations at this level, including deep research, which is like ChatGPT o3, that chain of thought, sort of like it'll go off and do a ton of research for you and come back some minutes later having really contemplated the answer versus just trying to sort of riff. So you get a higher rate of hallucination when you're not in a deep research mode. So this includes Gemini deep research, customization of different little Gemini custom LLMs. ChatGPT has this as well. You can customize various ways of asking AI various things and say, let's say you're a marketer and you want to use AI to help you write copy. You can give it a prompt that's persistent every time you click on that particular little gem. In this case, for Google, it will remember what it is that it's supposed to be doing and like be already pre-trained to help you get that particular task done. So that's Gemini, and then NotebookLM is where we are right now. And again, it just is giving you an overview of everything that comes with your nonprofit licensing, including mind maps, which we're in right now, and then higher limits and advanced features in the plus level for customization and analytics. It's really cool. So you get access to that. And then Gemini and Workspace, this is basically all of your work productivity tools. If you're in Microsoft land and you're using all of the Microsoft products, like many of us are, then Copilot is there for you to take your notes in your team's meetings or whatever. But there are similar things over here for like in Google Meet, for instance, it'll take notes for you as well. Just there's all kinds of things that get unlocked for augmenting your workflow in the Google platform, and then Google video production as well. You have access to that. So there's just so much here, and you can click into any of these, and it'll take you over here, and it'll like basically act like it's entering a prompt into the LLM for you, and come back with again data that's only constrained over here with what's on the left. So this is why NotebookLM is such a powerful research tool. So very, very cool update from Google. Many of you might already be aware of this because it did happen in June, but I haven't heard a lot about this out in the community. And so I'm going to guess that this is still sort of making its way around in terms of news. If you need help trying to use these tools or really figure out how to take advantage of all of these AI tools that Google has rolled out, that is what I'm here for. I would love to hear from you. So just reach out to me at kristendarrow.com, and you can find my contact information there, or just reach out to me on LinkedIn. And I'm happy to set up a free session with you just to talk through it and get a sense of what your company's trying to achieve. I would love to hear from you if I can help out on the Google front or any other strategic AI front that you're trying to figure out how does AI apply to my organization? Even more importantly, sometimes than how does the technology apply is how are we as an organization embracing the technology? How are we thinking and working differently that's going to mean a different mindset for the organization on the whole. That is what I'm here to do. My other job is working in Silicon Valley with tech companies around how to make innovation culture thrive within the company, how to basically take changes like AI is really impacting every single industry ever, not just arts and culture, not just technology, but every industry. But I specifically work in both tech and arts and culture. And I find it really fascinating that it's basically evolving organizations in very similar ways. And having an innovation mindset is such a huge part of being successful. You can't just bolt on the AI tools. You have to really sort of think and work differently. That is what I'm specialized in as an organizational transformation person and an AI transformation person. So reach out if I can help. Super interested to hear from you. Thanks so much.